Fuchsia Dunlop, an author of many Chinese cookbooks, said that Eastern cooking and Western cooking operate with a different kind of culinary grammar. I didn't really realize what she was saying until I started working for and with Western chefs. It's a different way of thinking, and before I used to focus on that. I basically asked anyone I worked for just to show me how to do it once, and I'll do it that way every single time. I copied their movements, I looked for the results, but I wasn't really cooking for them the same way that I cooked for myself. I didn't have any rhythm, and if something didn't work, I didn't understand why. Baking was the hardest. It still proves to be challenging for me, because with something as simple as baking, you need to take into the account the dampness of the air, the humidity that the flour lives in, all sorts of things that can make a difference when you're trying to get the same results over and over. The focaccia I made was fine, but it wasn't excellent. But these biscuits were easy enough and fast enough that if I messed up, I could make it over quickly. I think I messed up 1 or 2 batches before I understood why things worked the way they do. I like drop biscuits. I like the more than folded ones because I enjoy really contrasting textures. The crispiness of the exterior followed by the buttery, almost cakey center. I like biscuits that you can eat without knowing that you need water nearby. It didn't take long for me to come up with something to make this comfort food my own. I had been meaning to try miso butter combinations for a while, and white pepper and miso was a common soup that I'd make with chicken broth. Trying this batch, I wouldn't have known that those ingredients were what was in them if I didn't put them in there, but there was definitely something different about them in a really good way. Next time I'll add a bunch more of each to see if it's even better, but I like this recipe simply because I think it would please someone who didn't like their things too different. It's food like this that always has me looking forward to fall. Summer, there's always that pressure to eat fresh and healthy, but in the coldness of Michigan, you take what joy you can get, and for me, saving this kind of food for this kind of weather almost makes the Michigan cold something I look forward to. I'm still working on being able to understand both styles of cooking fully. I don't make these as much as I used to, but it's nice to have the holidays to force me to practice the styles of cooking that I don't automatically defer to. So making the biscuits themselves is great because it's quick and you can do a bunch of it beforehand. Just make sure your butter is cold. I was taught to shred the butter because it allows for even distribution. I had to use a cheese grater at the place I worked at, but at home I'm thankful for a food processor and attachment. And also add your buttermilk 3/4 of the way through and add the last little bit gradually. You don't want it to be sopping wet. It should be easy to scoop up. Even a tiny bit of dry flour here and there is okay because once the butter melts, it will incorporate in. Do the mixing part as quickly as possible. You almost want it to seem like messy. You can even have all the ingredients before the buttermilk is added, ready to go in the fridge, and do the last part right before dinner. Convection ovens are handy here. I didn't have one and everything turned out great, but I think when I had a fan oven, I didn't need to check on it as much. When it comes time to serve, as with all biscuits, make sure you have plenty of extra butter and some honey handy.